So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. It's actually gonna be another match coming our way, and this is gonna be do or die time for pretty much the whole group. Empowered Youth versus Aneno Knights Gaming gonna be caught on stream. My name is Dax. Joining me for night is Vyminal. And before we get into the match, let's just look at those results real quick so far. And Vim, anything noteworthy catching your eye from our results to this group stage?
From our results on this group stage, I think it's clear that the front runner of this group stage is Empowered Youth. And we had a couple of close matches early on in the night with MMK securing that victory finally on their third Haven map against Team EXE. So the odds, I believe, are against Team AKG right now. They really have to play their A game to get through this next one.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because we are going to be showing you guys basically the scoreboard so far. So Empowered Youth is going to be on the first seed. They have basically secured, I believe, a slot for them. And if they lose this, it will be up to map differentials to see who's going to be into the first seed. Now, the interesting part here is Empowered Youth wins, then we are going to see a 1-2 scoreline on 3 different teams. And on countback, on our tiebreaker, it is MMK in the lead against EXE with a -4 map differential, the -4 round differential over EXE with unfortunately a -6. So if it does come down to it, MMK needs to make sure that for AKG, they have to basically win on a point that I believe AKG has to win over 6. I'm trying to do the math right now, Vim, but math is hard, especially on stream. But
math is very hard,
from my
especially for me.
computations, it's like -10 right now for AKG. And if they win against Empowered Youth, I believe they need to win of a gap more than 6, or they need to win with a gap of at least 6. Because if they tie things up on the map differential, then they'll also be at -4. And since they're head-to-head, they won against MMK, so they will be able to take the slot away. So it really requires a lot. But also something to note, if Aneno Knights wins, then they are basically secured that slot because they'll be 2-1. That's pretty much obvious right there. But and then if they lose, actually, if they lose, I think they're gonna be the ones losing out on map differential. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I might be wrong. I think they're at +6 right now. Okay, I'm mad as hard, guys. So they are at +6. So they have to win by a good margin. They need to, or they have to be close into the game. They can't be down by 8, if I remember correctly, or 10. Or 10. Bim! Why is this so hard to do on stream? Look,
it is really hard, and unfortunately, I want to help you, Dex, but
okay,
I can't.
8.
Right?
Okay,
You're better at math than me.
What's up? I think I have the numbers crunched. I like right now. I'm looking at the standings. I have a piece of paper. I've been scribbling a lot. I believe it is a gap of 8 that they need to clear. They can't lose against Empowered Youth 13-5. That if they do that, they are gonna be tying. Sure, they can get it, but anything worse than that, then oh no, that is a big oh no right there. So thank you guys for coming through with us in terms of what the math escapades I had. It was pretty funny.
Haven.
Okay. So again, let's go back to the Vim, take the lead because I just want to finish my math real quick. Our next map, of course, is Haven again.
Go ahead.
It is gonna be defense here for Empowered Youth, attack for AKG, and well, what can we say about it? What can we say about this upcoming match?
I wouldn't be surprised if Team Empowered Youth would go with their signature no sage lineup for Haven, because it's worked against every other opponent so far in this Haven map tournament. So we'll see, and how I'm sure AKG knows this, right? So let's see what they choose in terms of agents, in terms of team composition to counter that very, very aggressive playstyle.
Guys, my head is hurting right now. I want to do the math real quick while we're doing this. Like, I'm kind of fixated on this right now. So Vyminal, take the wheel here, coming into our third game. We are gonna be getting ready. It is gonna be Empowered Youth now on the defense, and Aneno Knights Gaming on the attack. You're gonna see like we're casting normally, and suddenly I'm just gonna shout Eureka moment right there. It's like I figured out the numbers, Mason. What do they mean? But I think I was correct. I think I was correct on my spitball. If this is a 13-5 that Aneno Knights loses, then they tie up MMK. and they will win out because of the
Right.
head-to-head. If they lose worse than that, then they are going to be dropping down in terms of that map differential. But of course, a win is a win, and if they take it, they'll be up to 2-1, which is also going to be impressive, of course, and they can actually contest Empowered Youths and its first seed. So that's basically the numbers I have gotten right now, guys. My brain is hurting, my brain is throbbing. Can we just look at people shooting each other again, please? So
What they
hard.
have, what Empowered Youth has on their side is the element of surprise.
Mhm.
We've only seen them play one team comp the entire tournament, even during the open qualifiers. We've seen them rock this no sage, very explosive, aggressive lineup. This is their chance to try and catch the enemy off guard. Maybe AKG is expecting them to do the same again. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. We don't know. Anything could happen, and I really think the ball is in the court of AKG on this one, because Empowered Youth has proven time and again how powerful they can be on Haven.
Yeah, pretty much it. And I've gotten the numbers, guys. So if Aneno Knights Gaming does win 5 rounds, they're in. Pretty much it. Their score to make it to the playoffs is 5. But of course,
Right.
that means they're gonna be facing off against Adroit Gaming if they lose this. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's a hard one. Adroit Esports, that's someone who would
That's
really
it's a hard one.
you want to avoid that as much as possible. So it really goes to show the group stage really matters in so many ways. In the meantime, Empowered Youth, if
Right.
they perfect their record, they are gonna be our first seed whatsoever. There's no contesting that. So the numbers check out, Mason. I'm all good to go. And I think our teams are also ready as well. I hope you guys got amused by my math skills right there. I used to be pretty good at math when I was a child. Right
I
now,
know I did.
I
I got
mean,
amused.
I mean, I did a little bit. My head hurt, but let's get into the game.
Let's go. All right. Okay.
Ball's all
Let's
yours,
go,
babe.
guys.
Ball's all yours. I'm just
Yeah.
reeling from the mat right now.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, okay, right off the bat, brain freeze on Cypher. We've seen him on Breach time and again. Right now, he's on Cypher. Fleek on the Sage. Reyna, Asloman, as per usual. Beats on Raze, as per usual. Royal S being comfortable on that Brimstone pick. Rabbit on the Sage. We're seeing very, very similar lineup again from the previous showing of AKG here on the same map.
Seems
So
like
AKG seems like having a more aggressive lineup. Sans the Cypher. So we'll see how that plays out here. Seems like they're going for a fake, cutting off their
Trying to cut it off. Trying to make it
rotation,
through.
defensive rotation, going for a C execute, and AKG Tricks is leading charge with the bomb.
And here we go, Tricks throwing that paint shells, cluster bomb in the back, and as Asloman getting taken down, Royal S though needs to still hang on around right here, right now by the defender's side. And all it seems for Aneno Knights Gaming, they understand the numbers, they know what it takes to make it to the playoffs, and they are looking to execute as quick as can be on the C side. Really good push here of him, and what is going to be the plan right now for the defense to try and get the comeback on?
I really think they have to secure garage control. Without garage control, if they all funnel into CT entrance, it's GG for them, I believe.
ENFD though on the board, Royal S right
control
now.
is denied.
Doing all they can. Slow Orb is there. Tricks gonna get that kill, and Rabbit gets 3 into that one. Aneno Knights Gaming looking to really not just make it to the playoffs, but also make it to that top seed. They are on a warpath right now, Vim, and it seems like they are looking unstoppable from that first round.
Definitely. It goes to show that even if you're on a fragger agent like Reyna, Berg being really high up on the scoreboard in the previous game, doesn't mean that your Sage can't outfrag at times as well. So I think having a really competent player on Sage, since it is a very complex agent to play, I think a lot of people misconstrued playing support and giving it to so-called the weakest link of the team. I think that's completely incorrect here. They're going for a repeat of the C execute. Absolutely flawless so far.
What is
They're gonna take 3-5.
Bro, what is support in this instance? What is support in a game where you all have the same
Yeah,
kind of
like-
guns? It really is just looking at these different kits.
Just because you have a heal means you're hard sport. Right?
Healing
Yeah,
orb.
that's what people say,
That's a support.
You know?
Well,
That's what people say.
throw the e-girls right there. You're good to go. That's pretty much it. That's not how it is. We've seen
Not
Sages
how it is.
actually dominate out of nowhere, and it seems like the ball is on the court here of Aneno Knights Gaming. They even just catch out Brain Freeze right there, get that takedown. 3 kills on the board, and AKG right now 2-0. Good advantage so far. They really understand that they should be starting things off hot if they really want to make it 2 tomorrow. And Vim, what can the side of Empowered Youth really do to stop things? Because now they are playing a different composition, as we said, and things aren't really looking too well for them at the start of these 2 rounds.
They have to play the info game. They have to know where the attacking team is going to rotate. And Cypher really has to do a good job of locking down a site, limiting their line of opportunity. Beats again on the early operator. Again, this is one of those moments where an operator can really turn the tide of the match, stopping a push, getting a pick early on. This has worked really well for
No more
Beats.
charges left.
It's been pretty exceptional, out of nowhere getting kills here and there, and we've also enjoyed his navigation through those blastbacks. In any case though, it's Beats going over to see along, making sure everything belongs into the side of Empowered Youth, but their defense hasn't really been the best so far. Aslaman by the double door. We have BNFD trying to get the push on again, and well, with the spike in hand, we'll find out the Tricks can actually get anything done. Tricks of the trade though, Aslaman gets one. Tricks right now with the trade on back, and here we go with more and more as Fleek and Beats getting on the board there. Good defense so far, but AKG losing out by the Seashorts. It seems like their transition not really the best here, Vim, and Rabbit all alone right now, doing all he can to try and survive. Not gonna happen. Royal S with the shutdown. Clean round there for the side of Powered Youths. In essence, even though they lost 2, they were able to gain such good foothold on Seaside.
Now, with the Aslaman on Reyna holding down that garage, that weird. Taking the risk of positioning in that somewhat predictable corner right beside the door. A lot of everyone, like if you're in a high tier game, everyone checks that corner. Everybody checks their corners, and they're gonna pre-fire that right off the bat. The best thing you can do is take out one, and that's what he did. I guess that was sufficient enough for his team to rotate. And again, we see Fleek on Sage playing mid B. And I think that's really is the best place for Sage, because Sage can really hold down the push and he has to rotate really quickly. We might be seeing a wall going up here, or a quick rotate to A.
Slow orbs are into play. Brain Freeze right now looking around, but unfortunately for him, or maybe fortunately actually, that he is going to be seeing everyone come in from the short side instead. Fleek right now though with Slow Orb. We do see the Rays hanging on around though. Tricks wants to surprise with that Marshall, and Easy does it. Brain Freeze right now with 1 and 2. BNFT though with that Frenzy in hand. Aslaman now on the board, actually catching out Tricks there in behind, and things are looking really dire here for Aneno Knights Gaming. The shoe is immediately on the other foot. BNFT though taking a really good angle here. And a free kill onto Aslaman, not paying attention. Solid angle there for Aneno Knights Gaming, but still not enough. Fleek though shows up. It's high time for the run it back. And BNFT trying to play it safe, and Sand gets rid of that diffuser. I love the decision making here from the Phoenix so far of him. He's trying to do more though with those flashes, and he might not notice that that is gonna be that spike, almost getting diffused. Royal S though with that kill, denying the ace, and that was so close. What did the Aneno Knights Gaming do right there on their offense to put it to such a perilous fate? And how did Empowered Youth respond in such a good way?
I think, okay, what it looked like to me was that they played around the Cypher very well. AKG played around the Cypher very well. They knew it was going to be an A, right? And maybe they identified the camera position, so they, they expected it to be on A long. So they all went short. Like, that's so unpredictable. Like, who does that? 4 players walking through short like that, right? And then exploding onto site, and you have Cypher lurking on A long. They had to respond to retake the site as 5, with the post plant being effective.
And here we go though with immediately the pre-plant turning into carcasses. Worship is gonna kill onto Aslaman, but 2 have fallen after that showstopper from the Rays. So good start here for Empowered Youth again, looking to play that offensive defense, and they are not making it easy here for Aneno Knights Gaming. In any case though, Beat's gonna be hanging on around. We do still see the Brimstone of Royal S still on B side, and it seems like it's a more passive defense after the initiation there with the Duelist. Do you think this is a good call here for Empowered Youths, or should they just be sticking on with a more passive role? What is the plan right now for the defense?
Generally on defense, you don't really have to overpeak. especially if you have the man advantage, right? You're 4 against 3 right now. Basically 4 against 2.5 with the Sage being very low in
The
HP.
spike is here.
Right? You have to wait for your enemies to make a mistake. Maybe on the defense side, just wait for them to aggress and punish that. And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Brain freeze on long, gets 2, and here we go with Bricks all by himself. There we go with a tripwire already, staying his position. Immediately Bricks is anticipating anyone coming his way. Royalist with an easy takedown. Fleek also with that economic resurrection. And then Aneno Knights Gaming gonna be falling apart again this time. 3-win streak here for Empowered Youth. And as I said, they are not making it easy for anyone to make it through to the playoffs.
Not at all. BNFD on Phoenix had a really impressive showing. Almost the ace in that previous round. Really playing that run it back to the best of its utilization. But unfortunately, really great presence of mind in the previous round of sticking that bomb defuse. I think the only play for them here is to be able to get a pick. Defense is playing really passively. That means they are isolated in different sites. If you double peek or triple peek one of the defenders, that could potentially open an execution.
Speaking of the opening though, that's what the Hellfire is for. Orbital right now into play, but Beats is looking for the angle and he gets 1 and 2. Straight line approach, easy takedowns. Berg does get that kill. Worship now in response, and again, it seems like Berg, this is why we weren't able to really notice him too much earlier on.
Right.
He kind of starts off slow, and then out of nowhere, he just creeps on to the highest parts of the scoreboard. He's at 1-4 right now, bottom fragger, but I really think that will change very, very soon. In any case though, Brain Freeze right now on the board, catching out Tricks on Garage, hopping on the round like a little bunny. 2 versus 2 right now, as it's gonna be a push from short as well as defense side. Gonna be high time though for the Cypher to get the peek on. Double peek here from AKG. Really good teamwork. That's a defense on the offense. Victory right now for the attack. And then the Knights Gaming tying things up.
Here we go. Berg doing a lot of work there. A lot of impact on his frags despite being at the bottom of the scoreboard. Doesn't matter. You know, what counts is when you get the kill to win the round. You know?
Really seems like it. You know, when the other team runs out of players, and you are on the defense, you win. Did you know that? It's a fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't know that.
I'm so surprised too, but apparently, when you die, there is no coming back on the round. That's a very new concept.
In my attempt to mathematically analyze and theory craft the mechanics of this game, I did not come to that conclusion.
I'm glad. I mean, 5 minus 5 equals 0. That is the mathematics right there. Thank God we are back to A-level math. Anyway, though.
That is the only math that I'm capable of doing.
Don't
Let's
worry.
go. Garage aggression happening here.
Here we go again. It seems like this is Aneno Knights Gaming's bread and butter, but taking control of the garage, maybe they're the mechanics in a former life, but for now, Royal S as well as Fleek again by B side. Now it is a countdown to destruction truly. 2 more points. And I think that Aneno Knights Gaming does have the playoff slot secured for them. But it really is still going to be mattering, especially because of whatever result this game does, it will really determine how our bracket is going to be formed tomorrow. Anyway though, it's an A push, no stopping, no popping, Brain Freeze already popping those tripwires though, and it's high time right here, right now for the Orbital Strike to get the cook on, little bit of a zone, and here comes the push again from Aneno Knights as Rabbit pushes forward, gets a little bit of that frag there, Royalist though and Fleek in response, and it's going to be a very south side offense that Fleek will be able to take advantage off and get another kill.
For you.
Now, despite overly rotating, it seems that at the beginning of the match, basically, Royal S being able to rotate really fast and get a lot of value out of that Hellfire to stop the enemy push.
Ooh, Berg.
Asleman's right here.
Berg! He does start to try and get his freight train on, but unfortunately for him, Royal S is right behind that one, and he doesn't get tagged too much there. He's able to survive and get the counter onto the Reyna. It was really looking scary. The Empress was popped, and for Berg, he got that first kill, so that is really the stepping stone that you need. But unfortunately for him, really quick response from the Brimstone, and Empowered Youth right now taking the lead 4-3.
This is like Valorant 101, like a textbook defense. Like you see a lot of newer players make a lot of mistakes in retaking a site. If they know they're outnumbering their opponent, like 3v1, they get overconfident and just rush in 1v1 when you can make it a 2v1 or a 3v1, right? So you got to play for trades when you have that number advantage.
Seems like it, especially when you're on the defense. It really is just looking to make sure that you can survive sometimes when you're on that green side. But someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side, but we will find out later on in halftime. The Bird right now pushing forward. High time to get those Leers on. Meantime, Asselman survives, gets 2, and it's gonna be a pretty good round so far, but AKG showing up out of nowhere. This is gonna be econ for them in a way. They have gotten the commitment with only light armor special specters here and there. Rabbit now with the resurrection, and things are looking pretty good here for AKG, but as I say, that Fleek on the board, Rabbit gonna get that takedown. 2 versus 2 right now, right behind the crate. Rabbit, another kill onto this one. And what happened here to Brain Freeze? Hopefully, he's A-okay. Yeah, he does. He moves around. The spike now planted, but patience is a virtue for the Cypher, and gets the ponytail yet again. Good spot there from Brain Freeze.
Expecting Raze to be along.
1-1, and that's Tricks right now going down. Oh my god, what a shot there. And Brain Freeze, he was so patient. Do you think that was the right call, Vim? I know it has proper result.
Definitely.
Okay, so how did he find the intel there? Was it just a waiting game? Or did he actually get a really good angle in the first place? Ooh.
I think he heard the sound cue, right? He heard the sound cue, they were planning default. So he knew the stage would pop her head up in line of sight very shortly. And he waited for that right moment. You know, Brain Freeze is a very smart player. We've seen him do some very smart plays throughout this tournament. And this is a guy definitely with a hell of a lot of experience under his belt in terms of mechanics and game sense.
Might be feeling a little too cocky though. Tactical crouch onto his opponent, and oh no. I think Aneno Gaming right now gonna be looking for a little bit of revenge there. Of course, that will be given warnings to sanctions and stuff like that. If, of course, it really is in bad fates. But in all honesty, we'll keep the game up. There you go with Royal S getting the shutdown on the Phoenix immediately. AKG Tricks though shows up to get that takedown using that combat stim to his own advantage, and it's looking really good here for AKG so far. They've gotten their notice. They've gotten a race to really play as well as they can. Unfortunately, Pain Shell's bouncing on the round side. Bird right now with a takedown. Brain Freeze though looking for the flank, but here comes trouble. Here comes the push, and Fleek gonna be able to get that counter kill instead.
Now here we saw Fleek commit her utilities to defend B side, right? But on AKG side, it's so easy for them to rotate, and now that's what we see that they did on C side is just lock it down, basically take garage control, and it's gonna be really hard for them to retake. But they do have the number advantage.
3 versus 4 though, losing the Cypher, making it back into Aneno Gaming's hands. And it seems like it's gonna be high time to get the hell out of there. Empowered Youth feeling a little too confident, but Karma biting them in the butt so quickly. And they are going to be losing out after such a good push there from AKG on the C side. And now this is basically going to be playoff points for the next round. If AKG gets one more round after this one, they'll be our second seed secured. And they might be able to yoink first away. If they win this one, perhaps we'll be looking into the mathematics again. And that will hurt my brain, but it is pretty obvious right now that Aneno Gaming is hungry for a playoff spot. And if this is going to be our 2 playoffs picture teams for Group B, do you think they will stand a chance against some of the members of the Group A?
I believe they are capable of putting in a good show, but I believe they are the underdogs here. I mean, let's be real. Adroit is a force of nature in the local scene right now. They are the team to beat, and so far, no one has been successful in doing so.
Yeah, it's perfect 3-0. That's kind of an answer in itself already. Hellfire though, gonna be that orbital strike looking to get that push on. And here comes Aneno Gaming looking to execute on A side. Beautiful play there from Brain Freeze. Bird gonna get that counter kill. Here we go though with more and more. AKG now with 2. And they are really looking to secure this one. I think they have done it, Vim. And we are gonna be battling for the first seed instead. Spike though planted. Still a chance for the Operator and the Vandal to do some work. But it really isn't Empowered Youth's desperate time, you know, to prevent this victory from happening. At least they know who they're going to be going with, and it's going to be a good chance for them to simulate a potential grand final matchup. In any case, though, there we go with the econ, and I think that's going to be it. Mathematically, Aneno Gaming should be able to get that second seed away from MMK, and well played to them. Well, at least we have our 2 teams. And what do you think? Oh, our first seed going to be taking off against Adroit. Our second seed going to be facing off against Ajin. I think this game is going to be very instrumental to perhaps really try to avoid that first seed on Group A.
It's gonna alter basically the course of the whole tournament. Depending, it's probably gonna alter who's going to be champion and first runner-up of the tournament. You know, and I know for the fact that you know, avoiding that first seed would probably be the better option. Right?
Avoid a joint at all
Delaying your
costs.
matchup against, yeah, avoiding your matchup against the droid, maybe delaying it, the inevitable future
It's
against the
scary.
force of nature that is
Yeah.
the droid.
It's scary and it's scary. But I do think
But who
though,
knows? Who knows, Dex? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like maybe Empowered Youth has some tricks up their sleeve. Maybe AKG has some tricks up their sleeve to counter whatever a droid has been doing successfully for the past few tournaments.
Yeah, they have. They might have something, especially as the former JCFC squad has shown that they are really big on surprises, really surprising us during the qualifying match, surprising us right now
Right.
with a really good run in the group stage B. And I'm made a believer here. The underdog started really coming through. And I'm looking a little bit of the map though, but Aneno Knights Gaming does have a good chance of yoinking the slot away if ever, because of the closeness of those victories there from Empowered Youths. So there is really a big chance for one of these two teams to take that first seed. It really is going to be all down to fate and numbers right now. So we'll stop talking about that since it really just, we have confirmed that anyone can take that first seed by this point. And we'll be
Right.
focusing on the match instead, as it's an A-side push. BNFD looking for the surprise, but beats so quick on the reflex. What a flick there. Here comes Trouble though. Berg coming on through to the B side. He might be able to catch the Sage. Yes, he does. Beats though with the showstopper. If we get too much, we'll get shot up. And AKG doing all they can to hold this A sides.
This is
Really
looking
quick.
like a really good half for AKG, in favor of AKG. The odds are stacked against them.
AKG though, hold this
They get a
angle.
pick.
They do have the man advantage here, Vim, and it really is difficult with just the configuration of AKG right now on the site. They are doing all they
Right.
can and more to really put a stop to any kind of push. Worship right now just praising the glory of God right there. Royal as though in response, getting a counter frag, but it's not gonna be enough. And this is gonna be our 11th round done and dusted. Aneno Knights Gaming right now taking the lead. 10 kills so far for BNFT and Trickster. Duelist doing all the work and more. Last round now before the half. And Empowered Youth, they are gonna be looking to tie things up. So hopefully we can get a 50-50 scoreline before the second half.
Now, if you think about the lineup of Empowered Youth, it seems like a more defensive-oriented setup with a Cypher at hand, right? But
Yes, this
on the other hand, you know, they're having a bit of trouble trying to defend against the more attack-oriented lineup of AKG. So, it can go really either way. Maybe Brain Freeze would have a trouble attacking on Cypher. They've done some great things. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll find out very soon. After this round, we will get the side swapped. But for now, though, it seems like it is going to be the C push happening here for Aneno Knights Gaming. They're looking to swing, though, with the Phoenix. I think BNFD is just on the hunt on Brain Freeze right now. And I think it's also been made a little personal here by the side of Empowered Youth. But here we go now with the Orbital Strike. Good transition, though, from AKG moving on forward. Royal Esto using that opportunity to get one back. And BNFD, as we said, securing A side and getting rid of Brain Freeze. But it doesn't matter because the spike is already firmly on C side. Showstopper, though, in the play. Tricks! Catching out beats there. Double trouble from C short, but that is Rabbit getting one more in the bag. Fleek with a counter kill. It's not gonna happen. And Aneno Knights Gaming has secured a lead coming into the second half.
That Sage Wall locking down Garage is just so instrumental in securing C-side. So that's really textbook right there. There's not a lot you can do about it. Just break the wall, try to secure Garage control, but you know, it just makes it a hell of a lot harder to retake C. So let's see how the second half plays out. Again, I did mention that Brain Freeze might be, Brain Freeze should have been more comfortable defending on defending side, but now he's on attack. So let's see how he does offensive Cypher here.
I mean, he kind of was
goes
like
here.
flanking in a way that it looked like he was in the
Right.
offense, but I
There
get your
are
point.
some lurker Cyphers, you know. Yeah.
I completely get your point. So We will find out if Empowered Youth can figure things out in first place, and they are gonna be looking to push here, and here comes Beats right now with the 1 and the 2 into the air we go. It's like a ballet with explosives, and we are just gonna get the rat down again. Beats still trying to survive, gets that thing. Aslan also with a kill. Really good start here for Empowered Youth, and we've seen this before. We see it again. It's really, really impressive to behold every single time from the Raze. The Tricks out of nowhere gets out 1, gets a second. The grenade kill doing all it can. Second grenade right now, getting that tossed on over. This time doesn't get too much. Beats right now with the kill to BNFD in response, and the action just really unfolding here. 2 versus 1. One tap into play. Tricked right now though, surviving with 6 HP. A bullet and a dream. The Cypher though is hiding here, Vim. And that is going to be high time for Brain Freeze to win it out there. Really, really close. But what do you think? Defining factor of that push that allowed Empowered Youth to take that win.
Empowered Youth, really, really strong in opening a site. As we've seen time and again, Beats are really comfortable with that mobility on Raze, which is, I think, the only time we've seen it apart from a Raze player on Ronin. But very rare that we see a Raze, play it up like that here in the tournament so far. Beats so far have been very, very effective in doing so. On the other side, conversely, AKG Tricks had a lot of value off that paint shell. But it wasn't enough.
It was gonna be value though. It's the Shorty squad in hand, and Berg shows up out of nowhere to get that kill. That is what the Shorty is all about. This is Aneno Knights Gaming going for the run and gun action to really get close as much as possible. But since the Spectres are into play, it's just not gonna be enough. And I, for one, I love the Shorty squad, but it really is just kind of do or die at such close range.
Right.
Anyway, though,
Having an all Shorty squad, I think, is pretty much. I think a smarter decision than, like, for example, 2 people going Shorty and then 3 of them going Ghost, for example. I think going all Shorty ensures at least a kill or 2.
just go full.
But yeah, at this situation, you probably can't go for exit frags at this point.
They can just run in, scream their heads off, and make some noise as Fleek gets rabbits. Goodbye to the Sage there. Worship will not be able to get anything whatsoever, and he will just be backing on that with his lovely, lovely sawed off shotgun there. Besides that, though, another victory here for Empowered Youths, and the Worship's still in the blast rages, so he's not going to be saving that one. Doesn't really matter in the long run. But as I say that, it's a good start here for Empowered Youths. It feels like that they have a good understanding on the attack with their Raze, especially, and with Aslan lagging behind. I like the comp. It seems like it's a 1-2 punch for him. Beats decides to play Surfboard and play in a surf map, move around here in Haven, and then we see Aslan throw that Leer. It's really, really safe for the Raze to try and cock that gun back up. So how do you think AKG can respond to that one?
I think that they have to, again, go Sage mid B, try to predict where the enemy is going to rotate fast, and exactly what they did here, try to punish their aggression by going all out as well. You cannot give the enemy too much respect. I say this time and again, if your enemy is overly aggressive, do not give him too much respect. Otherwise, he will just get cornered in for the rest of the match.
No survivors.
That was really, really impressive by AKG.
That was just such a tidal wave ready to work its magic and just erasing the side of our youth there from the graces of Haven. AKG right now taking a point back. And just really, really impressively done yet again by Aneno Knights Gaming. They just showed that they can really be the tip of the spear.
As for the team composition of youth, for example, Aslan is not the primary entry frag for the team. He's going refrag, second fragger, and Beast is the main entry. I say this a lot that Reyna doesn't necessarily have to be your main entry. I think she's really powerful as second entry.
Leer makes an opening, and especially because you get someone damaged, that's when the Reyna can work its magic. Once it gets one orb, it can start rolling till everything is gone from the map. Bergto sticking on C side, 5 versus 4 right now, and then Nice Gaming again playing the aggression. And look at how quick our Raze player has transitioned. Tricks from A short already at B. And it seems like they're playing a little bit on the give and take angle, and they are going to be looking to allow the side of Empowered Youth to move into A. Is this the right idea here, Vim?
They may be anticipating, they know that nobody's flanking, right? So they just go all inside. Perhaps this is the best course of action. Brain freeze on, on guarding flank. I think that gives him the freedom to execute a side.
And Tricks, though, again with the tricks of the trade, throwing those grenades here and there. BNFT still sticking on. Wall already spotted by Rabbits. And well, we'll find that soon.
Was I muted the whole time?
No, you're not. Don't worry. You're saying something. It's okay.
The mic was off.
That's weird. That's weird, but hey, BNFT and Berg on the board! And now that is just so quickly done. Again, by team. Aneno Gaming. They decide to destroy, they decide to show up. And here we go again with Mr. Loki himself, Berg. From the bottom to the middle already, 12 kills to his name. The longer this game goes, the better Berg gets. It's like a fine wine waiting for a beautiful dinner to come in and piece it all together.
Definitely. Berg definitely getting a lot of impact frags. Maybe not top frag, maybe not racking up all those kills, but very impactful nonetheless. Now, this is definitely the point in the match wherein adaptation comes into play in terms of the attacking side as well. They're down 2 points. They gotta change something up in order to swing the advantage to their favor.
But then Nice Gaming doesn't care. They are going to be going for the push instead. And something to note here, Vim, there's a lot of ultimates online here for Empowered Youth, so they can actually put a surprise out of nowhere. We'll find out soon, though, if this is going to be working out in that favor. Tricks with the paint shells. It's always that B execute that you really see on Anik on a round. It's just bomb rush to impunity. Here we go, though. Oh no, Tricks making some mistakes there. Hashtag mistakes were made. Berg, though, coming on out. Tricks right now gonna get that kill. Here we go, and again. BNFT right now doing all he can and more. That's the race right now, getting caught. A rock in a hard place. There is no surviving. It's a crusher trap waiting to happen for the side of Empowered Youth as Aneno Gaming gets a sandwich on. And now we are going to see guns a-blazing for both sides.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That's what I'm observing right now. I think Empowered Youth is kind of caught in the middle of a crack. Like, they are trying to go aggressive, but at the same time, it seems that they are getting a bit intimidated by the defense of their enemy. So they have to really commit to either playing a bit more passive or, full-on committing to a side.
Joke's over.
Find out soon, though, how this is all gonna pan out as Berg's time to really hold here on C long. Going for the Leers, easy takedown onto 1 and 2, and here we go with the Berg show yet again. In any case, though, Trick's gonna be getting that kill as well. The double duelist composition, sticking around, doing all they can and more. And who is left? Brain Freeze. He is gonna be caught out with the paint shells, caught out in the bomb. And where is the counter crouch? I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, AKG just a little.
I don't think it's gonna
it.
happen again this time.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Empowered Youth, as soon as that little BM showed up, it felt like the tides turned. And Aneno Gaming given a reason to really play for the win, not just the playoffs, but really just to shut up their opponents. And I feel for them. Karmic Retribution is always a sight to behold.
Yes, indeed. And right now, we're seeing a very, very decisive victory, it looks like. But again, they still need a couple of rounds to win. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it seems like it, but AKG showing up. Goodbye to Aslaman already. And Aneno Gaming on a different caliber of speed. And this is high time for Aneno to do all they can and more to just get this victory. Stim Beacon, though, thrown. It's already 2 down. And look at how quickly Aneno just decides to collapse on their opponent. They're already looking for a hunt. They're looking for a kill or two. This is Berg seeing the Cypher. Easy takedown already with the lineup. Brain Freeze again will be falling. And what is going to be next here? Bleak and Royal S. They are only on pistols right now. Sure, this is going to be a round to give again for Empowered Youth. But Aneno Gaming doing all they can and more to play things right. And from the get-go, from the past 4 rounds, they have won this out, Vim.
Right.
What has really been their biggest factor of winning? What has turned the tides for Aneno Gaming to such a big degree?
I think for Aneno Gaming, the biggest plays they've made is ensuring those flanks are on point. They know where the Cypher traps are. They know they're not going to flank through that lane. So they're going to flank the opposite lane and completely catches off guard because, E-Youth doesn't expect any flanks because none of the Cypher traps are triggered. But, suddenly someone comes from behind, right? So I think the Cypher traps should be switched up for it to be not very predictable in order to prevent those flanks from happening.
Match point.
They've also been forced to save quite a lot.
Yep. They want to make sure their match point will have a little bit of a duel here. And they are gonna try.
gonna
Empowered
get-
Youth right now on the ropes, and it feels like for Aneno Knights Gaming, since they've been really looking at these flanks here and there, I think they should open up a Subway franchise here and there too. So hopefully, just show off their good old footlong action. In any case though, it's a big exclamation point right now, Vim. 5 ultimates online for Empowered Youth. They've been backing everything and more to go for their own hot streak, and we'll find out very soon if that is gonna be the case.
Interesting. Going for that sudden death. We'll see if that will be within the realm of possibility. And I think a lot boils down to this match, to this round right here.
Yeah, seems like that's the case. Berg, though, wanting to go the push, sees the Cypher. Goodbye to Brain Freeze. He has been on a cold streak ever since, and it really just goes to show that it is Aneno Knights Gaming right now, looking to do all they can and more to shut their opponents up in such good ways. In any case, though, Berg right now, pushing on forward, find their opponents, sees the Reyna. Berg right now is again on board, but Royal S this time gets the counter kill. BNFD, though, gonna be still sticking around. 4 versus 4 right now. What's the plan here for Empowered Youth?
Yeah, here's what I was talking about earlier. They get shut down while trying to execute a site. They get a bit paralyzed and they take all their sweet time before committing to a site. Now they only have 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to commit it right now.
Worship, though, beats in the face of adversity, beats another kill, trying to clutch it out. Tricks, though, on the board. And can Aneno Knights Gaming finish things off? Playing Ring Around Rosie. Oh, what happened there? Royal S actually getting that kill. What happened there to Tricks? It seems like he just jumped for joy and didn't. I'm really surprised. Did Aneno Knights
Perhaps
Gaming?
a slight
Ooh,
oversight there on Tricks.
yeah.
He banked on the satchel,
grenade. Oh, it's
finishing
Satchel.
off Royal S as he was like just 1 HP left, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Okay, Tricks. A little too cocky there, and I guess it's just riding high right now. 4-point advantage still though for Aneno Knights. They still have a lot of guns. It is gonna be 1 bulldog there for Astroman, so I can really see that. I can understand the confidence here for AKG so far.
Right.
In any case though, it's a pretty split defense, 1-3-1. And can Empowered Youth actually find maybe the angle that they want to take to punish Aneno Knights and their stance here, Vim?
Let's hope that might not be a 1G moment right there. But let's see if they can secure the victory here. And once again, paralyze the attack of Youth. Because they still are playing very, very slow. All they need to do is pick one off. Again, they don't have a resurrect from the Sage, unlike the previous round. That could really hurt them. All they have to do is peek with an operator and get the reward.
Yeah, here we go again. The Brain Freeze trying to get a little bit comeuppance against Reyna. Still gonna be that C-long offensive from this Cypher. And we've seen him do this on the attack. We've seen him do this on the defense. And here we go right here, right now with a little bit of setup. But can this be the Berg show? You've seen him actually be low-key great. And here and now we go again. BNFD already catching out one by the garage. Here comes Berg. Gets rid of Brain Freeze, but Royal S with the counter kill immediately. Very quickly done. Fleek though setting on up. Rabbit on the board. He gets another one. And that is just going to be victory there for Aneno Knights Gaming. They will take a 5-point round. That's actually going to be huge for the map differential. And looking at the map right now, I do think that they are going to be our first seed for the Group B.
Very surprising outcome coming from the first half of that match. But it just goes to show, what happens when you BM an enemy. They just transform and play their absolute best to try and prove you wrong.
Out of their
And
minds.
that's what we saw happen.
Out of their minds, indeed. And we'll be
They
going
played out of their minds.
Going into cam soon. We'll just look into that scoreboard real quick. Tricks, Berg, and BNFD. This time, Berg doesn't yoink that top spot away from Tricks. Tricks has been showing up very impressively. Besides that quick little fumble with the satchel. But really well done by Aneno Knights Gaming. They have shown that they do belong here. There were a few people here and there. They're just like, Aneno Knights Gaming kind of on the downturn lately. But we have a lot of belief in them. And they have shown up here on Group B. Really eking it out win after win. And what do you think? AKG? A contender to the crown, perhaps?
Definitely. I mean, if anyone's a contender from this group, it would be AKG and, of course, Empowered Youth, because both teams have had quite a bit of tournament experience under their belt. Especially for AKG. They've been very prolific, as I've mentioned before. and joining many tournaments, many grassroots events, and of course the tryhards event, and of course all our tournaments as well.
Yep. Big love
So
to
they've
him.
been working really hard. They've been grinding. They've been practicing, doing their homework, studying new techniques. Yeah,
Yeah. And Mr.
they
Vim,
deserve it.
let's see your lovely face, but we are just getting our final results real quick. And here we go, guys, with our map scores for every single map. 13-11 for EXE versus Aneno Knights. MMK falling to Empowered Youth though. 13-11 there as well. 13-11 there for Empowered Youth versus EXE. 13-5 though for Aneno Knights. And then 13-7
Mhm.
for MMK. 13-8 for Empowered Youth. And all I gotta say real quick from looking at these numbers, I really think that Aneno Knights has this in the bag. They are at a plus 13, plus
Right.
11. And Empowered Youth is basically on a -4. So yes, it seems like the math does check out. And we do have our first and second seed spotted out. Were these the results you expected, Vim?
I was actually expecting E Youth to have a stronger showing versus AKG. I believe AKG was the underdog in that matchup, but they proved me wrong. Proved a lot of people wrong, I think.
Yeah,
Um, Perhaps I don't know. Maybe youth are hiding a few tricks up their sleeve. Perhaps
yeah, it's a different
we don't know.
composition. I think they might have
Yeah,
used that map to experiment just a little bit because they already knew
right.
they were gonna make it to the playoffs, but now they were gonna be in the unenviable position, I believe, to be facing
Yes,
off
yes.
against Adroit Esports. So we will be right back, guys. We will just quickly do the math. I want to do this very quietly right now. Gonna give you an opportunity to use my brain and coordinate, of course, with all the other moderators to make sure everything is fine and dandy on the score side. But we already have our first and second seeds here for Group B. Congratulations to Aneno Knights Gaming and Empowered Youth moving on to the playoffs tomorrow. But we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the Siklab Invitationals Group B. Okay, guys, welcome back, and we have done the math real quick. As Mr. Vim just taking a little bit of a stretch there, we are going to be showing you guys our scoreboard and looking at our results first and foremost. 13-11 there for EXE beating out AKG, 13-11 though Power Dude beating out MMK. And then for our second batch of matches, it was a Power Dude beating EXE 13-11, and then Knights beating out MMK 13-5. And then out of nowhere, MK yoinking a victory away against EXE 13-7. AKG though winning out against Empowered Youth 13-8. And our
Mhm.
final results as Mr. Vim is back on to duty. Our first seed, ladies and gentlemen, is Aneno Knights Gaming with 11 map score right there in total. That map differential really making a big difference. Empowered Youths in second with -1, both at 2-1. But in this case, it is Aneno Knights Gaming improving, showing their dominance, especially after an 8-point margin against MMK, as well as a 5-point margin against Empowered Youth. What do you think about these standings, Vim?
Very, very impressive showing from all teams. But all in all, in the end, I expected, I believe, AKG and E Youth to shine in this group stage, as again they are playing with a full force, 100%, no substitutions from no drastic changes in the roster at the last minute, thus putting them at the best disposition to succeed.
Really is. It was an amazing showing from them out of nowhere. Really impressing so many. And AKG kind of off to a bad start against EXE. They're
Mhm.
one of their bitter rivals in a way, but then moving on against MK and Power Dude, really showing that they were just looking to get started, and now they have taken our first seed. So our playoff picture
Yeah,
is pretty much secured tomorrow, Mr. Vim. Our first semifinal is Adroit Esports versus Empowered Youth, and then our second semifinal will be Aneno Knights Gaming versus Team Agin. I'm very impressed though that for our two open qualifier teams, they both have moved on. So it really goes to show
right.
that that extra competition giving them the edge over their opponents.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And that's the reason why we have open qualifiers, because we are scouting for talents that have yet to be seen in our previous tournaments before. This is only pretty much our third tournament as Valorant PH, I believe. And there's so many like unsung heroes in the local scene, the grassroots communities. So again, guys, if we have another event in the future, which we will, I encourage you guys to join.
I really have enjoyed our time here in the Siklab Invitationals. And well, we have our 4 for tomorrow, Vim. We will be starting things off at
Mm,
6 p.m. It's a lot earlier than before. It's a
right.
best of one for the two semifinals. It's going to be a best of 3 in the grand finals. And it will be a 25,000 peso prize pool up for grabs. All 4 teams in the money already. But any matchup you're excited for? Are you more excited for Adroit versus Paradude? Or are you more excited for AKG versus Agin?
I'm really excited to see Adroit do what they do best. I really want them to see, go against a team such as Empowered Youth, who are known to be very, very aggressive. I want to see how they adapt and how they read the enemy.
And really is going to be interesting if anyone can figure out the puzzle of a droid. But don't count
Right.
out, well, Agin and Empowered Dude. They have proven from the open qualifiers that are really
Definitely.
here to impress. And what do you think? Skill Lab Invitationals, a rousing success in many ways. Any favorite matches or matchups so far, even though that they didn't move on potentially to the playoffs? Any favorite match from our first 2 days of the group stage?
I believe that one of the strongest performances shown during this group stage is MMK versus EXE. Very, very fun matchup to see. Again, it's sort of Valorant PH versus Valorant PH in a way, and it's two enemies, rather two rivals that know each other very well, and one of them got the upper hand by doing their homework. It seems, and yeah, I think that was one of my favorite matches so far. There's a slight bias, I guess, because those two are really close friends of mine. So yeah.
Yeah, can't hate on that. Still sticking home, still sticking with the fam bam, and I understand the love for them. For me, one of my favorites was really Adroit versus Anbu. A lot of familiarity between
Mhm.
those two teams, Really a little bit of that kryptonite there, but luckily for Adroit and unluckily for Anbu, Anbu didn't move on. But it was really a good reaction there from Adroit to begin with. From first half to second half, they changed their game plan, and again, clear favorites, not only for this one, but also for the Ignition series coming our way. It's a fun week of Valorant coming our way, guys. This is only the start of Valorant PH action. We still got that official Ignition series coming our way, but it is time for us to bid adieu for tonight. Again, our starting time for tomorrow will be 6 p.m. instead, a lot earlier than before, because that grand finals will be best of 3. The group stage and the rankings all will matter, guys, so pay attention to that, and we'll find out very soon how those matchups are gonna unfold. First match for the night, it is Adroit versus Power Dude at 6 p.m. 7 p.m. it will be an AKG versus Ajin. And are you ready for that one, Mr. Vim?
Yes, indeed, and I cannot wait.
And that is gonna be it for us. My name is Daks. He is Mr. Vyminal. You can check out our socials down below, and of course, hit that follow. You wanna be up in the action for tomorrow's Siklab Invitational playoffs. 25,000 pesos on the line, trying to see who is ready for the Ignition series. And we will see you guys then. It's been fun. It's been great. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for another round of Valorant PH action.